Hi, so today I'm going to talk about something that I have a lot of passion for and find extremely interesting, although a lot of people find it extremely morbid. But I'm going to talk about the bones. Not just the bones, but as you have seen probably on many television movie shows, forensic anthropologists can look at a skeleton and determine what the sex of the person was and chromosomal sex based on markers on these bones. And I've always found all of that very fascinating. And so I thought I would share the two most prominent bones that you can tell this from and allow you to kind of get an insight into that world and how that works. So the number one way, the probably more accurate, there's no 100% guarantee. Everything's a range, a spectrum. Everybody's bodies are built a little different. But the main way is through the pelvis. And so this is my friend. We call it by a certain name. And by the time we're done, Bones here will let you know if it is a Mr. or a Mrs. Bones. So number one way is right here. Let me articulate these legs out real quick. By the pelvis. There's a couple different markers on the pelvis. Try to get this a little bit closer to the camera for you. Sorry for the movement. Okay. On the pelvis, the first way is the opening. So if you look in this opening, you can see there is somewhat of a heart or Mickey Mouse shape to this opening. These two bones back here, right here and right here, are protruding into that space. That indicates male. On a female pelvis, these bones would be much more flat and straight out to allow room for infant to pass through the birth canal. Additionally, let's get him back straight. Kind of already given away what it is, but you have where the two pelvic girdles meet right here. This is what's commonly referred to as a pubic bone, but it's actually a piece of cartilage that joins the two bones. And there's this angle. Now, if this angle looks more like two fingers down, so 50 to 60 degrees, that is male. If it looks more like a thumb and a forefinger, wider, 80 to 90 degrees, then it would be female. And again, this is for the purpose of allowing an infant to pass through the birth canal. There are other markers on the pelvic girdle that you can look at, some of which is let's see, this is probably the best way, this distance right here, the amount of ridge that's going on right here, and then thicknesses within this sulci right here. But these are all things that you would take measurements on, and there are grids, guidelines that you can look at that have been standardized based on numerous testing and analysis of other skeletons to determine what is more common for male versus female and what would be in that range or sometimes inconclusive. The other way that's really easy, or if you want to call it easy, but the other prime way to tell if a skeleton is male or female is through the skull. So let's get the skull here a little bit better. So there's a couple different markers that we're going to look for when we're looking on the skull. This skull is not quite as obvious, but that's okay. I'm going to point them out anyway. So one is right here on the side. This jawbone connects, and then there is this protuberance right here. And on a male, this is much larger due to the amount of neck muscles tend to be stronger on men. And on a female, these tend to be much smaller. So it's kind of a comparison where you're looking. The same thing goes for this back of the skull, right here. This is generally a very smooth, round edge on a female, and on a male this can even have a bit of a point on it, again from neck muscles attaching here and kind of pulling on the bone and causing it to thicken to support those extra muscles that men commonly get. Again, there's a range. Not all men have this, and some women have this. So these are not perfect, but they're good indicators of what sex you're looking at. Another one is the mandible itself, the jawbone. This line here, this ridge, if you were to take a ruler next to it, let's see if I have a straight edge I can show you with. I do. Give me 1 second. You take a ruler and you put it up next to it, and oh no, my ruler is missing out of my drawer. Well, let's see what else we can come up with. This will work. So straight edge and pretty straight. If there was a large gap in there, then it would indicate female. And with this ridge being straight, it indicates male. The other indicator is the angle that this jaw makes. If this angle is closer to a 90-degree angle, it indicates male. And if it's greater than 90 degrees, closer to 120 or what have you, then it indicates female. And again, these are all from types of muscle connections and just natural anatomy. There's also indicators on the front of the face. Still might be better to show you from the side. So this eyebrow ridge right here, where you see these little bumps and the tiny holes, those holes are for veins to get through the bone. But these bumps are much stronger on men, gives a much more furrowed brow. Obviously not all men have that, but that's a very common indicator of male versus female, as well as the thickness, squareness of the chin and thickness of this ridge right here, and sometimes dimple, or the thinness, pointiness of the chin, pointier being female, square, more ridge being male. So those are some very common ways that forensic anthropologists will look at a skeleton and determine if what we're looking at is male or female. And in this case, this is Mr. Bones. Thank you. I hope you found that at least interesting, if not educational.